The story begins in a bustling school cafeteria, where students chat and laugh. A group of kids approach a table, only to find a boy already seated. They hesitate, whispering, "Oh, it's that boy again." The boy introduces himself as Nero, though everyone knows him as Dogar. "I've been transferred here, and that's why they've ostracized me," he thinks. Later, Nero takes medicine in the hallway when a boy suddenly kicks him, sending the medicine flying. The boy mocks, "What kind of medicine are you taking? Be careful, don't let your mom find out." He sneers, "But I forgot, you're an orphan." Enraged, Nero glares furiously. The boy's friends, children of police officers, laugh and jeer. "Look at him showing attitude, how dare he, but can he even harm us?" Another bully arrives, suggesting cruel treatment. "Why go easy on this sick child? If you want to treat him well, physically torture him." He begins kicking and slapping Nero. Nero thought to himself, "I don't care about their beating, but my body won't respond. The angrier I get, the more it shuts down. It's as if chains bind me, rendering me immobile. My heart racing with rage. I feel an unseen force holding me back. Just once, I want to unleash my fury. I want to make them pay." The bully sneered, "Don't close your eyes. Watch how I beat you." Just then, Luna, Nero's classmate, arrived. "Leave, I need to get water," she commanded the bully. Furious, Luna ordered the bullies to clear her path. The bully blushed and stammered, "Today's wonderful, meeting you. Sorry to intrude. You must be thirsty. Let me step aside." The other bullies retreated, whispering among themselves, "She's stunning." As they departed, Luna stood beside Nero. After a moment, Nero rose and left. Luna watched him go, then spotted his medicine, her expression shocked. On the terrace, Nero stood, contemplating suicide. "Bullies always torment me, and I'm powerless against them," he thought. "They're strong, and I'm weak." Gazing at children playing happily below, Nero felt a pang of longing for their carefree existence. Just then, his grandmother's message arrived. "Nero, what would you like for dinner?" The simple query flooded Nero's mind with memories of his grandmother's love and devotion. She had raised him with tenderness, cherishing him as her treasure. Her unwavering care had continued even as he grew older. These thoughts dispelled Nero's dark intentions. He decided to live. At that moment, his friend Yang appeared, concern etched on his face. "What are you doing here? It's not safe. Come down immediately." Nero explained that he was just admiring the view, but Yang persisted. "It's still hazardous. Are you okay? Please leave." Despite Yang's worries, Nero departed. As Nero left, his friend Yang seemed troubled. In the narrow classroom, Nero quietly fell asleep. Luna observed him intently. Meanwhile, some classmates viewed a disturbing photo on their phones, a monument with a terrifying monster visible through the window. They quickly turned off their devices and calmed down a frightened girl. Luna slipped out of the room unnoticed. The scene shifted to the same monument, where the monster emerged, growling, "Find the key, find the key." It vanished into the darkness. At home, Nero tended to his wounds, applying medicine. His grandmother's voice interrupted his thoughts. "Nero, are you in your room?" Nero hastily dressed, and his grandmother entered, asking, "What are you doing inside? Shall we go eat?" Nero fabricated a story. "I've already eaten with friends." However, his grandmother spotted medicine on the bed and understood the truth. "Next time, bring your friends home. I'll cook something special for all of you," she said, before leaving. As soon as she departed, Nero's facade crumbled, and overwhelming sadness consumed him. Nero's grandmother discovered shoe marks on his clothes while doing laundry, filling her with sorrow. The scene shifted to the monster, now approaching Nero's house. A delivery man sat in his car, radioing, "Is this the last delivery?" Suddenly, the monster loomed beside him, its voice chilling, "I need your skin." The scene cut to the next morning. Nero's grandmother cooked breakfast while Nero examined his burned face in the mirror. "My face was severely burned yesterday," he thought. "How can I show it to Grandma? She'll be devastated." Just then, his grandmother called out, "Nero, you'll be late for school. Come quickly, breakfast is getting cold." Nero emerged, hiding his face, and said, "I'm not hungry." As he headed for the shower, the doorbell rang. Peering through the peephole, Nero saw a delivery man and called out, "Doors open, come in." Meanwhile, Grandma wondered, We didn't order anything. What's this? As I showered, the delivery man transformed into a monstrous figure, his face twisting in menace. The monster possessed the delivery man's body and advanced on Grandma, who backed away in fear. Just as the monster extended its tentacles, Grandma unleashed her powers, binding it with a crimson thread, her face etched with red lines, reminiscent of Sukuna. She commanded, "I told you never to find him again." The monster struggled, snarling, "Unless I find that key, I'll destroy everything here." It rampaged, creating a ruckus that reached Nero's ears. Nero turned off the shower, wondering about the commotion. Meanwhile, Grandma muffled the monster's mouth, warning, "Don't make a sound." The atmosphere seemed calm again, so Nero resumed showering. Unbeknownst to him, Grandma battered the monster, harnessing her powers to create a protective spider web. Nero heard Grandma's voice and asked, "Grandma, what's that noise?" Grandma silenced the monster and reassured Nero, "It's just the TV. My hearing's troubled lately, so I turned up the volume. Nothing's amiss. Finish your shower." Nero returned to showering, thinking, "I thought Grandma fell again." Grandma let out a sigh of relief and resumed battling the monster. Her expression turned wicked, and the monster taunted, "How long will you hide? Sooner or later, you'll be ours." Grandma swiftly finished off the monster. Nero thought, after applying the ointment, "My face looks slightly better. The swelling has subsided, but I still can't show up like this." Grandma's wounds healed instantly, but the cut remained visible, revealing her apparent healing powers. She pondered, "I must relocate again. How can I break this to Nero?" Meanwhile, Nero thought, "I can't stay here anymore, but I dare not tell Grandma." At school, Nero lagged behind in the playground race, lost in thought. Grandma seemed troubled this morning. What's on her mind? Focus, or I'll come in last again. This playground seems vast. Nero collapsed, and the PT teacher rushed to his side. Nero's vision faded to black. He found himself in a dark, eerie realm, watching a man sink into the ocean's depths. Suddenly, Nero's eyes snapped open, and he was in a medical room, his head pounding. "I always have the same dream when I lose consciousness," Nero thought. Nero gazed out the window at the orange sky when his grandmother called. He wondered, did the PT teacher tell Grandma I fainted? He answered, shocked by her words, "Pack your bags, come home quickly." Nero thought, "We just moved here, and now we're leaving again? This has been happening since I was a child." Grandma explained, "I need to meet the real estate agent about our new home." Nero asked sorrowfully, "Are we running away again?" He reflected on their nomadic life. "We've constantly moved from one place to another, never settling. I've transferred schools repeatedly, struggling to connect with classmates due to my frail health." Every injury led to the PT teacher scolding them, fueling their resentment. They'd say, "He has no mom and lives with his grandmother." Whenever Nero tried to fit in, he'd hear, "That weird kid is always faking illnesses and transferring again." No one cared about his struggles. As he grew older, Nero realized his grandmother was hiding something. "She thinks monsters surround me," he thought. "How long can I keep them at bay?" In a desolate area, monsters emerged from underground. A cab driver sang happily while driving until a monster appeared on his window, cautioning, "Drive carefully, or you'll crash." Startled, the driver lost control and crashed, attracting more monsters. Meanwhile, a man fed his cat, saying, "I feed you well, yet you still rummage through trash." He apologized for his busy schedule, fearing others thought him neglectful. The cat spotted a lizard and fled in terror, scratching the man. "I feed you, yet you bite me and run," the man lamented, injured. As he departed, he noticed frantic dogs barking. Perplexed, he saw the cab driver exiting his wrecked car, opening the trunk. The scene ended with heightened suspense. Nero shifted his gaze and found himself sitting at the table, hearing dogs barking outside. "Grandma, why are the dogs barking so much?" he asked. His grandmother replied, "Have you eaten? You're running late for school, hurry up." Nero protested, "There's still plenty of time." But Grandma insisted, "I'm extremely busy today, leave for school now." Nero reminded her, "Yesterday, you said to eat well before school." Grandma ushered him out, saying, "Inform your teacher about the transfer, I'll handle it." As Nero stepped outside, the dogs fell silent, and Grandma's voice faded away. Uneasy, Nero noticed numerous delivery men approaching. Nero wondered, what are all these delivery men doing in our building? A dark feeling washed over him, and he blanked out momentarily. Unbeknownst to Nero, the delivery men were monsters in disguise. Grandma stood ready, prepared to defend her home with all her might. Nero glanced outside, noticing the van held no packages. What are these delivery men doing here? He thought. Have they come for me? A delivery man fell from his window, and Nero panicked. Guard uncle, look, a man is falling, he shouted. Rushing to report the incident, Nero hastened towards his house. The elevator wasn't working, so he took the stairs. Meanwhile, Grandma unleashed her full powers, slicing through monsters like vegetables. One by one, they disintegrated into ashes. Just then, a powerful vampire-like monster attacked Grandma. You think your powers will save you? The monster sneered. Our king and army will arrive soon. Grandma retorted. Will they come dressed for a festival? As she strangled the monster with a magical rope. The monster broke free, demanding, hand over the key, or we'll take it by force. Grandma bound him with stronger magical ropes and asked, who is your king? Meanwhile, Nero rushed home. Where's the key? The monster growled. I have no keys, Grandma replied. All doors are locked. As the monster continued demanding the key, Grandma tightened her grip. Nero reached home, but the door wouldn't budge. Grandma had magically sealed it. Grandma, are you okay? Nero shouted. Just then, the monster broke free and attacked Grandma. Blood dripped onto the floor. Nero pleaded with Grandma to open the gate from outside, unaware of her severe injuries. The monster sneered, resisting is futile, you'll only lose. Grandma weakly replied, what's the point of this? Leave us alone. The monster smirked, I recall you were a top-ranking officer, until you had a child. Is this the same child? Grandma's eyes blazed with fury. The monster gloated, your reaction confirms it, if the king discovers the child's existence. Enraged, Grandma slammed the monster's head against the gate. How will he find out? You'll die here, and who will tell him? With a fierce cry, Grandma crushed the monster's face. The scene shifted. A passerby searched around, thinking a child had played a prank. But amidst the empty streets, bloodstains on the ground told a darker story. Nero struggled to open the door, unaware of the monster's hand approaching him from behind. Inside, Grandma Sana swiftly erased all evidence of the monsters, thinking, we must leave immediately. Suddenly, Nero realized his mistake and saw that he was choking the monster. Trembling with fear, Nero cried out, Grandma, look! Grandma Sana intervened, release him, he's just an ordinary human. The monster refused, he's not just any human, he's crucial to our plans. Grandma Sana offered, let him go, and I'll give you what you came for. The monster sneered, Sana, I know you, hand over the key first. Enraged, Grandma Sana slashed the monster's face. If this continues, its condition will worsen, Grandma thought, her anger boiling over. She unleashed her full power, transforming before Nero's eyes. Nero was shocked, but the monster within him emerged, attacking Grandma with tentacles and severing her hand. Seizing the chance, Nero broke free, biting the monster with his teeth. The monster retaliated, injuring Nero and causing him to vomit blood. Grandma rushed to Nero's side, concern etched on her face. Are you okay? Just then, the monster struck again, piercing Grandma's stomach with its tentacles. Nero rushed to save his grandmother but was stabbed in the chest by the monster's second hand. He fell to the ground, helpless. The monster taunted, Sana, never turn your back on a desperate foe. A menacing aura enveloped the monster, and its surroundings turned crimson. What's happening? The monster asked, alarmed. Grandma Sana, fueled by rage, radiated ominous energy. Red threads sprouted from her hand, binding the monster. With a clenched fist, she obliterated the monster. Weakened, Sana collapsed to her knees, Nero's face before her. Narrating Nero's critical state, the scene flashed back to a perilous past. A blood-curdling cry echoed through the mountain, as if a river of blood had swept through. A woman screamed, Sana, take my child, leave now. Sana grasped Nero and leaped off the cliff, plunging into the sea below, seemingly lifeless. Nero, drifting in and out of consciousness, heard a familiar voice whispering, "Nero, don't die." Whose voice is this? Nero wondered, his mind foggy. The scene shifted to Nero's childhood. A classmate taunted, "Your mother's not here, you're an orphan." Nero's mother appeared, slapping the child. "Did grandma teach you this?" she asked. Nero protested, "He hit me first," but his mother didn't listen. "Stay away from that child," she warned, taking her own child away. Nero sobbed, longing for his grandmother. Back in the present, Grandma Sana cradled Nero in her lap. Red marks began to appear on his face, mirroring hers. Sana wept, overcome with emotion. Resolute, she whispered to herself, "I have no choice. I must return the key to Little Prince and send him to battle." With determination, Sana chanted a mantra, conjuring a fiery phenomenon. Grandma Sana whispered, "I'll use my remaining magic to revive Nero, but his life will be fraught with hardship. This is his destiny. I can't change it." With those words, she infused fire into Nero's body. The chains shattered, and his body levitated. As Sana touched Nero, he began to vanish, overcome with emotion. She said, "Farewell, Nero." The head Tartar's story ends here. Nero's eyes snapped open a month later. In a police station, exhausted officers commiserated about their long day. "One thing that really frustrates me is this kid," one officer said. Another officer approached Nero. "Hey kid, this is your usual spot, isn't it? You come daily. If you keep this up, we can't guarantee your grandmother will return." Nero replied firmly, "My grandmother didn't leave me." The police officer asked sternly, "I've filed a missing person report for your grandmother. What do you want? Why do you keep coming here?" Nero showed him the sketch. "This man did something to my grandmother." The officer's expression turned angry. "Do you think we're fools? We investigated and found no blood, no fingerprints. Lying is a crime, kid." Just then, a colleague intervened. "Hey, ease up. He's just a child, alone and without parents. His days are tough enough." Turning to Nero, the officer said gently, "Nero, go home now. It's getting late." Nero stood there, visibly upset, crumpling the drawing in anger. As he left, he thought, the security guard claimed he saw nothing that day. "I've searched everywhere, but there's no CCTV record. Everything I saw has vanished. It's as if nothing happened." Exhausted, Nero collapsed onto the sofa, replaying that day in his mind. "Delivery guys swarmed our building, and I rushed to save Grandma, but those monsters attacked, and I fainted." What happened next? Was it all a dream or reality? One truth remained: his grandma was gone, leaving him alone. The scene shifted to Nero's school, where the principal assured, "I'll prevent rumors about you. You'll handle arrangements for a month, but attending school was your grandma's last wish." "Yash sir," responded, his expression thoughtful. Nero stepped out and found his friend Yong waiting. "Are you back?" Yong asked hesitantly. Nero nodded. But Nero suddenly felt uneasy and looked away. "What's wrong?" Yong asked. "Nothing," Nero replied. Nearby, kids whispered among themselves. Nero's grandma collapsed, but he's fine. Has he been training excessively? He's changed so much. Is he still the same Nero? As Nero ran laps around the field, he thought, "This track feels small now. I sense every detail, stones hitting my feet, others breathing. It's like being in the principal's office. I feel watched." Nero walked down the corridor, sensing someone following him. Is this the same person who's been tailing me? Could they be connected to Grandma's disappearance? He wondered. Few students knew about his situation, and he hoped no one suspected the truth. As he turned around, he found Luna behind him. "Need something from me?" she asked. "No, I mistook you for someone else," Nero replied. "Am I being too paranoid?" he thought to himself. Luna noticed his distraction. "Aren't you taking your medication anymore? You used to take it after meals." "I'm feeling better now," Nero assured her. Nero uttered those words, then realized he hadn't taken his medication since that fateful day. It had slipped his mind. Suddenly, Nero heard a faint noise, jumped out the window, and exclaimed, "I forgot something urgent. I'll leave now." Luna's face fell as Nero departed. The police arrived, asking, "Were you waiting for us?" Luna ignored them and walked away. Abel appeared, smiling. "No more medicine. What a relief." Meanwhile, Nero pondered, My body's changing rapidly. I feel it when I exercise, even in the hall. It's transforming daily. As he walked home, he spotted Luna working at the nearby convenience store. She works next door, Nero thought. I should say hello. But feeling slightly embarrassed, he opted to head straight home. On his way home, Nero spotted an elderly lady collecting cardboard and rushed to assist her. In her, he saw a fleeting resemblance to his grandmother. The lady smiled warmly. It's heartening to see kind youngsters like you. Nero, avoiding eye contact, suggested, if you add more boxes, it'll collapse. I need to bring my car around first, she replied. Nero offered, stay here, I'll get it for you. The lady thanked him, apologizing for the trouble. A group of bullies taunted Luna. Do you work here? We've had trouble buying cigarettes lately. We'll visit daily, boosting your sales. Give us 2 packs now. Luna requested their ID, prompting anger. Don't you know who we are? Luna stood firm. I recognize you, but I cannot sell to minors, especially in school uniforms, and certainly not in a local store. Please leave. The bully snarled. Your looks won't save you. We'll come daily to boost your sales. His companion intervened. Let's go. Sack wants that, and you don't want to cross him. The bully laughed. I've repeated the same class twice. I'm not exactly smart. He demanded, give me 2 packs of cigarettes. Luna asked him to sign a document. What is it? The bully asked. Luna smirked. You really don't know? The bully hesitated, thinking aloud. I'm probably a sheep, zodiac-wise. Luna corrected him. Not even close, just leave. Just then, they spotted the old lady again. Nearby, Nero searched for his cat. 2 bullies approached the lady, offering her money. Buy us cigarettes, they asked. The lady refused, annoyed. You're not exempt from smoking laws. One bully sneered, stepping on her cardboard. Old lady, you talk too much. Your age should know better. He tossed money at her, hitting her on the head. Damaged lungs will be mine. Mind your business. The lady retorted. Today's youth are useless. Nero arrived, witnessing the scene, and his anger flared. He rushed to the lady's side, and she grasped his hand. The bullies mocked. Are you some kind of hero? This emotional display is laughable. Why interfere? Loser, is she your grandmother? Nero's gaze fell on the battered cardboard, fueling his anger. The bully sneered. You can't hurt me like you used to, and grasped Nero's neck, dragging him away. Forgive me, the bully mocked, before releasing Nero. Nero thought, something's changed. I don't feel trapped anymore. Enraged, the bully beat Nero, saying, you're accustomed to daily beatings. But Nero's body surged with adrenaline. His expression transformed. Seizing the bully's legs, Nero squeezed hard. The bully screamed, begging for release. Nero held tight, unyielding. Just then, his friends stumbled upon the scene. Nero rushed towards the scene, revealing a blue mark on his face eerily reminiscent of his grandmother's red mark. The bully, aiding his friend, turned to Nero. What did you do to him? Noticing Nero's mark, he asked, what's with your face? But Nero suddenly sprinted away, ignoring the bully's commands to stop. Breathless, Nero thought, what's happening to me? I don't understand anything. In a nearby park, Nero sat, lost in thought. I recall that monster inserting its tentacles into my stomach, but when I woke up, there were no marks. Something changed that day. I felt strange ever since, like my body isn't mine, and this power isn't either. What's suddenly happening to me? Scene shifts to the classroom, where Nero sits quietly at his desk amidst murmuring students. Somehow, that bully ended up in the emergency room with severe injuries. A student whispers. No one knows if it was an accident or a fight. Nero's ears perk up, wondering if the rumor's true, given the bully's absence. The bully's friend notices Nero and grows suspicious. How did someone who relied on medicine to survive suddenly become so strong? He approaches Nero, accusation etched on his face. Are you kidding me? My friend's hospitalized because of you. What trick did you pull last night? Nero replied, forgive me, I'm still confused since last night. The friend retorted angrily, how can you say that after putting someone in the hospital? I should have spoken up. Another student interjected, are you defending him because of his past? Who are you to interfere? Are you his guardian? The student replied, no. Enraged, the first person warned, If you're not his guardian, leave quietly before I lose control. Nero stood up, and his aura shifted dramatically. Bully thought, was he always this powerful? Why did his eyes turn blue? These aren't human eyes. It seems he didn't use a trick last night. Something within him has changed. Nero's confrontation ended unexpectedly when his adversary left without a word. Young thought, I expected a fight, but he's walking away. That's for the best. Meanwhile, Nero's transformation was striking. His eyes gleamed with an otherworldly intensity. Elsewhere, a child walked his dog, apologizing for being late. Suddenly, the dog spotted Nero and charged towards him, growling aggressively. The child struggled to calm the dog, but it refused to settle. Nero revealed his transformed eyes, and the dog's demeanor shifted instantly. It became tranquil, gazing up at its owner. The child asked, bewildered, what happened? Did you see something? Nero retreated into an abandoned building. Seeking solitude, he gazed into the reflective water, then stepped outside for fresh air. Spotting an iron rod, Nero grasped it firmly, testing his strength. No, I shouldn't, he thought, hesitating. But, transfixed by the rod, Nero began pulling it out. Nero finally yanked out the entire iron rod, hoisting it single-handedly. What's happening to me? How am I doing this? He exclaimed. This concludes the episode. If you've watched until the end, you know how captivating this series is. Now we see the bully, whom Nero had taken to the hospital, returning to school with plaster casts on his legs. The children in the class start discussing among themselves. Was the rumor true? Did he actually get into a fight? Was he beaten up by Gusong? Ignoring the conversations, the bully sits down next to his friend, who asks, are you okay? Can you walk now? Did you kick a wall that day? The bully remains silent, instead looking towards Nero's desk. His friend becomes angry and shouts, hey, have you gone deaf? The bully responds, speak softly, Nero might hear. He then starts taking out books to study, leaving his friend shocked and wondering, what's going on? In the cafeteria, two kids enjoy their food when Gusong, the blonde-haired bully, arrives. You have a lot of chicken, why don't I take some? He says, prompting them to fearfully hand it over. Gusong notices Luna and says, I thought you liked chicken, so I brought some for you. You can gain some weight, you look too thin, but you're very beautiful. Luna ignores him and walks away to sit next to Nero, asking, can I sit here? The students start whispering among themselves, wondering when Nero and Luna became close, if they're dating, and if Luna rejected Gusong. Luna gives Nero food, telling him to eat slowly. Meanwhile, Gusong watches them, growing increasingly jealous, surrounded by darkness. Next, we see Gusong beating up the same bully. Are you sure it was Nero who broke your leg? Gusong asks. The boy's friend confirms. Yes, I saw it. Nero's eyes changed suddenly, and he broke his leg in an instant. Enraged, Gusong says, you're still in this school? Everyone knows you lost to a loser. The boy defends himself, but it's not like that, if you understood Nero. Before he finishes, Gusong punches the wall and warns, has your brain also broken? Luna arrives, observing the scene, and comments, how childish. Gusong changes tone, speaking sweetly to Luna. What brings you here, Luna? Luna replies, you used to bully Nero when he was weak, but now he's strong. Are you scared of him? Be honest, have you backed off because you're afraid? Gusong laughs. Luna, your jokes are funny. Nero's just trying to act tough. Luna challenges, why don't you show him his place? Remind him who rules this school. Gusong says, Luna, don't you know me? Luna moves closer to him and says, you're scared, aren't you? I understand this perfectly. Enraged, Gusong says, I'll show that dog his place, just watch. Next, Nero receives a mysterious message, meet at the back gate at 6 p.m. They're going to bully you today. Nero asks, who are you? But receives no response. Then, his friend Young messages him, I heard you're fighting Gusong at 6 p.m. today, is it true? The news spreads rapidly throughout the school, and everyone is excited to see the fight. Some even skip tuition classes to watch. Some think Nero has gone crazy. Meanwhile, Nero is worried when he receives another message from the unknown person, nothing will be resolved until you fight him. At 6 p.m., Nero arrives at the gate, where Gusong is stretching. I didn't think you'd show up, Gusong says, now, I'll show you my skills. Many students gather to watch their fight. Gusang approaches Nero and says, "You know, I was so bored when you weren't coming to school. You're the only one I can bully." Nero thinks to himself, "Until I fight him, this won't end. I need to finish this here and now." The surrounding students comment. The weight difference between them is huge. Is Nero trying to act cool? Shouldn't we stop them? Something terrible could happen here. Gusang says, "I'm fighting you, but I feel it's unfair. I admit it. Come on, Nero, hit me first. I'm right here." You've heard the saying, whoever hits first wins. You must be angry after being bullied your whole life. Hit me first. As soon as Gusang says this, Nero punches him with such force that Gusang's face shakes, and he falls to the ground. Everyone is shocked. Nero continues to beat Gusang, punching him into the air. The students watch in awe, their mouths hanging open. Then, Nero approaches Gusang and says, "Get up quickly, I haven't even started yet." Next, we see the students' reactions. Those who witnessed the fight were terrified. Now, we see Nero, whose hands are covered in blood, relentlessly beating Gusang. Gusang pleads for him to stop. Nero approaches, saying, "I won't spare your life." We see Gusang's nose turning blue from the beating. Meanwhile, Luna watches from the rooftop, saying, "So, it's you." Next, we see someone sneaking into Nero's house. Then, Nero's friend approaches him, returning his forgotten bag and asking, "Are you okay? You seem completely different, as if you've changed entirely." The scene shifts to Nero walking home, wondering, "Have I really changed? I'm no longer the loser dog or the ordinary student I once was. I don't regret it, but I don't feel good either. Everything changed after my grandmother passed away. It seems I've accepted she's no longer in this world." Nero enters the house, turns on the lights, and drinks water. We look up at Nero's head, where a monster is hiding. Nero notices his plants drying out and inspects them closely. The monster seizes the opportunity to attack, but Nero swiftly defends himself by hitting the monster with a flower pot. It seems Nero had anticipated the monster's presence. He thinks to himself. Nero asks the monster, "I sense it, but is it one of those creatures? Who are you?" The monster attacks Nero, who defends himself, breaking the monster's hands. "You're not human," the monster exclaims before jumping out the window and fleeing. Thinking, he's not human, but smells like one, the monster escapes. Nero jumps after him, landing a solid kick that sends the monster crashing into bushes. Upon approaching, Nero sees only blood. The monster was fast, but couldn't hide its scent, Nero thinks. The injured monster thinks, "What's wrong with that kid? My hand is broken. I can't fight now. I need to heal quickly and report this, but how did he find me?" Nero appears, saying, "I've found you." The monster throws a wooden plank at Nero, who effortlessly shatters it. The monster flees, with Nero in pursuit. Nero uses an umbrella to stop the monster, piercing its body. Approaching, Nero asks, "Who are you and why are you here?" The monster replies, "I've come for Sana." Nero recalls his grandmother's name was Sana, and the monster's words stir memories. Nero realizes the monster is talking about his grandmother. The monster continues, "We searched for Sana together, but none returned." Enraged, Nero demands, "What happened to my grandmother?" The monster asks, "Is General Headguard your grandmother?" Then, wincing in pain, it says, "I already told you." Nero presses, "Why are you all after my grandmother?" The monster explains, "Your grandmother took a key. The king wants it. We're searching for her. That's why they keep sending us to find Sana." Nero asks, "Where are your fellow monsters?" The monster replies, "On the other side of the diamond portal, but you're also a diamond." Nero mocks, "Do you think I'm a monster like you?" The monster retorts, "Fool, look at yourself. Do you think you're human?" Nero notices his reflection, revealing a blue mark on his face. He wonders, "What is this?" The monster escapes, leaving Nero puzzled. Next, we see a drunk man returning from his office, cursing his boss. The monster appears before him, but the drunkard mistakes it for a co-worker. The monster hides in a gutter. The man flees in fear. Meanwhile, Nero runs through the rain, slips, and falls. A lady helps him up, saying, "Be careful." Her son whispers, "Mom, look at his face. It's weird." Nero sees his reflection in a puddle, covers his mouth, and quickly escapes. A narrator explains. Since Earth's beginning, humans and monsters have been at war. The world is divided, and their territories have expanded. Countless victims' blood has been shed. But suddenly, the human passage door closed after the Great War. Humans became legends over time. Is this myth or truth? Uncertain. Yet, no matter how long wars last, cracks eventually appear in the boundaries. Formerly sealed entrances have become holes. A man narrates these events. The scene shifts to Nero, who rushes to the police station and asks, "Is this true?" Officers show him a video recording of his grandmother. Nero confirms, "This is my grandmother." An officer inquires, "Was she ill?" This market is known for medical supplies. Nero looks shocked, then requests the address. The officer explains, 2 months have passed, you won't find anything. Nero disagrees and leaves. Nero arrives at the vast market and thinks, where do I start? Finding that pharmacy will help. I've been taking this medicine for a long time. Why do I take it? I need to think carefully. He recalls the medicine's smell and locates the pharmacy. The owner asks, who needs the medicine? Nero replies, for Sana. The owner says, wait, and disappears inside. Nero senses something amiss and enters the pharmacy, finding the owner fleeing. Nero pursues, jumping over a wall to confront him. The owner thinks, this guy is fast, and prepares to kick Nero. But Nero reveals, she was my grandmother. The owner halts, asking, what did you just say? Nero repeats, she was my grandmother. The owner explains that Sana bought medicine for Nero, a stress-reducing agent that controls demonic powers. This allowed you to live a normal human life, he adds. The monster sensed humans sent from you because of this medicine, the owner continues. There are demons like you, Nero, with weakened powers. You must take this medicine to survive in the human world. Nero learns the truth about his heritage and the reason for his unusual abilities. Nero asks, does this medicine prevent me from becoming a monster? The owner replies, what do you think? Why can we speak the human language? It seems you were raised as a human, unaware of being a demon. Nero wonders, did Sana track the gap and hide the truth about this child? Who is this child? Nero requests, tell me about my grandmother. The owner begins. Sana was the greatest warrior in the demon kingdom, a general guard close to the queen. One day, king's brother, Khan, trained an army and attacked the palace. It was the most terrifying day. Viking tried to save them, but everything burned to ashes. The king and queen were killed. Khan sacrificed thousands to achieve this. Survivors of that war came to our world, where humans live. After arriving here, Sana found me, and we went into hiding. Khan sought to eliminate all surviving Demon Kingdom individuals, including you. Nero realizes, that's why you fled when you saw me. The old man explains, as a demon hunter, I knew Khan's forces sought Sana. She possessed something hidden, frequently changing locations. Yet, she consistently came to me for medicine. I grew concerned when she stopped coming, as her supply must have run out. The old man asks Nero, did something happen to her? Nero's eyes well up with tears. The old man warns, they won't stop coming until they find what they seek. Now that your grandmother is gone, they'll target you. Nero reflects on his isolated past, having no friends or companions. He says, I'm ready, I won't run. I wanted to end my life, but now that same reason keeps me alive. Whether I'm demon or human, I don't care. My assassin is dead. I won't hide like before. A narration begins. The dimensional gap links the human world. We see King Khan, enraged, asking, how many soldiers have I sent there? His aide replies, thousands of monsters, but none returned. I thought they'd capture Sana, but unfortunately, they perished. That's why it's called the entrance of death. Khan declares, I'll reopen the entrance. Do humans think they can face us? I'll destroy their world without a scratch on my body. His aide warns, Your Majesty, reconsider. The human world is vast and unpredictable. Our forces may not. Khan interrupts. Silence. I'll demonstrate my power. Prepare the army. Leaving them alive serves no purpose. Sana must have given the key to the former king's son, whom we previously tried to kill. Khan orders. That child is an opportunity for us. Send people to find him. He'll lead us to the key. The portal. once closed, is now open. Remind them of cold fire, the one who never dies. The scene shifts to Nero, packing his grandmother's belongings. He remembers a forgotten photo frame, and upon seeing it, he smiles, thinking, I don't care who she was or where she came from. To me, she'll always be the grandmother who raised me with love. Nero's emotional moment is interrupted by a knock at the door. He senses something ominous, foreshadowing the conflict to come. The scene shifts to school, where Nero hesitates before class, thinking, looks like the fight between me and Sank has spread throughout school. Hope no weird rumors have started. Upon entering, classmates greet him warmly, leaving Nero perplexed. A friend explains, everyone feared Sank, but now, thanks to you, they don't have to face him. Let's grab snacks after class. Luna arrives, saying, Nero, meet me after school. Nero asks, why? His friend intervenes, don't worry, he'll come. Nero asks his friend, why are you answering for me? His friend clarifies, I knew this day would come. You two were spotted together in the cafeteria. Congratulations, you're now a normal kid. The scene shifts to Sank, hinting at impending conflict. Sank, enraged, says, those kids must have spread the rumor about me getting beaten. How dare that dog gain the courage to hit me? A dog can always be beaten, but now it's learned to bite back. Sank storms off, confronts Nero's friend, and demands, from now on, you'll be my dog. When his friend refuses, Sank slaps him, asking, are you undermining me? Do you think a weakling like you can harm me? Sank brutally beats his friend, but the latter fights back, infuriating Sank further. Anger burns in Sank's eyes. Nero thought in class, looking at his friend's desk, he just went to the washroom, but hasn't returned yet. Where is he? He's not the kind of student to skip class. I'm getting a weird feeling. What if something bad happened to him? As soon as he opens the gate, he sees his friend, who looks terrible. His friend says, I'm fine, don't worry about me. In the nurse's office, his friend says, I realized after the fight, I'm not that great. I punched him a lot. He must be in pain. Nero says sadly, you don't deserve this. His friend asks, do you deserve it? Is that why they hit you? They're terrible people. Nero angrily asks, where are they? His friend stops him, saying, I'm fine. Nero warns, they won't stop. They've just started bullying you. They won't stop. They've just started bullying him. Nero says. His friend responds, you've changed a lot, but thanks to you, I won't suffer in real life. I want to change like you. I won't let them make me a punching bag or bully me. Don't worry about me. This is just the beginning. Seeing his friend smile, Nero feels he's genuine. The scene shifts to Nero packing his backpack. Luna asks, where are you going? We had a deal, remember? Nero explains, I have some important work to do. Standing nearby, Sang says, Nero, are you coming with us? The scene shifts to kids noticing people wearing raincoats. The bullies tell Nero to follow them. Nero agrees but warns, leave Young alone after this, or you'll face consequences. He walks away. Just then, a bully attacks Nero, who gets frightened. Meanwhile, the raincoat-clad figures roam around the school. We see they have monster-like teeth and start sniffing a student. A child accidentally bumps into them and, startled, tells them to leave. Nero, dodging the attack, jumps long, shocking everyone. As Nero lands, he punches the bully, sending him to the ground. The bullies charge at Nero together, but he takes them down one by one. Sang watches in disbelief. Nero calls out to Sang, who thinks to himself, how did this happen? Sang breaks a bottle and charges towards Nero. Meanwhile, the raincoat figures reveal their true monstrous forms, causing chaos as children flee in terror. Young hears a noise and tries to alert the teacher, but gets no response. He turns to see a menacing monster behind him, its hand reaching out. Nero sees children running, screaming monster, monster, and is shocked. He rushes outside, thinking, this can't be happening. They've followed me to school, Nero thinks. Sang attacks Nero with a broken bottle, but Nero subdues him outside the gate. Open the gate, Sang yells. Stay quiet if you don't want to die, Nero warns. Enraged, Sang vows to kill Nero. Noticing the window, Sang escapes. Meanwhile, teachers rush outside upon hearing the commotion and are shocked to see monsters attacking students. Frozen in disbelief, they're pushed into the teacher's office by a monster. The monster reveals its terrifying form. Luna overhears students discussing monsters and flees, seemingly aware of the situation. They've arrived sooner than I thought, but I must find him first, she thinks. A monster blocks Luna's path, but she uses a thread to entangle and strangle it. A monster nearly kills a child when Nero presses a button, distracting the monster. Nero leads it away from the child, searching for a secluded spot. Sang attacks Nero, but he dodges, and the monster grabs Sang. What is this? Is this a monster? Nero asks. Don't escape, or I'll kill this child, the monster warns. Sang pleads, why are you staring? Help me instead. Should I help you? Nero asks, startling Sang, who begs for help, tearfully promising, from now on, I'll obey you, just save my life. The monster scars Sang's face, and he notices Nero has vanished, intensifying his fear. Nero reappears, fighting the monster. Blue marks reappear on Nero's face as he defeats the monster. Sang is shocked, asking, Nero, are you really human? Before Nero responds, another monster collapses nearby. The two wonder, who fought this one? Upon investigating outside, they find Luna battling multiple monsters. Nero is shocked, then Sang approaches Luna, asking, Luna, are you okay? Luna kicks Sang's face, telling Nero, I'm handling the monsters here, leave now. What do you mean? Nero asks. If you leave, the monsters will follow you, Luna explains. You know they're harming students here, right? Take responsibility. Nero is shocked, asking, how do you know all this? Before Luna responds, multiple monsters arrive. Luna urges Nero to flee. He breaks a window and escapes, thinking ahead. Why isn't anyone following me? Has the plan failed? Nero thinks. Suddenly, multiple monsters appear. Nero spots a basketball hoop with a ball and uses it to trap the monsters. They seem brainless, only focused on killing me. I underestimated their strength. The earlier ones were weaker. Just then, Luna uses wires to pull and kill the trapped monsters. Nero asks, how did you handle these two? Who are you? Luna urges Nero to focus on the fight instead of unnecessary questions. More monsters arrive, increasing in number. Some monsters team up and attack Nero and Luna. The monsters' attack leaves marks on the ground. Luna and Nero hide behind curtains. How will we deal with them? Nero asks. I don't know, they've combined, making them harder to defeat. Luna replies. Luna steps forward, saying, Hey, fat one, how'll you find us amidst all this noise? The monster charges towards her. Luna drops curtains on it, trapping it. She calls out to Nero, who jumps down from the wall. He breaks steel rods, and blue marks reappear on his face. Nero vows, today's your last day. A formidable monster appears, carrying Nero's friend away with an evil smile. The giant monster, which looked terrifying, is defeated by Nero and Luna. Nero thinks, like before, they turned to ashes and vanished. Did my grandmother suffer the same fate? Luna urges, we must leave immediately and reach a safe place. Nero hears his friend's voice and sees his dire condition. Are you hurt? Nero asks. Luna warns, don't go near, something's off. Nero approaches his friend despite Luna's caution. Luna says, look at his feet, his shadow is enormous, doesn't it seem strange? The friend whispers in Nero's ear, run. The menacing monster from behind attacks Nero. Luna screams as Nero and his friend fall to the ground, blood gushing from Nero's mouth. His friend apologizes before his eyes close, reminding Nero of his grandmother. In flashbacks, Nero's grandmother pleaded with the monster, let Nero go, and I'll give you the key. The monster attacked her stomach. In the present, Luna rushes to Nero's side. Nero recalls happier memories, his grandmother lovingly celebrating his birthday. He wishes to spend more time with her and blows out the candles. Back in the present, Luna tries to revive Nero. Nero stands up, but can't see anything. He recalls recent events and calls out to his grandmother. Grandma, I can't see. Grandma, I can't see. A cake appears before him, and he sees his grandmother lying lifeless on the table. Grandma, are you okay? Nero asks, grasping her hand, which begins to vanish. With her last breath, his grandmother repeats, Nero, save the entrance. Nero, save the entrance. Nero pleads, "Grandma, don't leave me," but she disappears. Enraged, Nero asks himself, "Who am I?" Candles ignite with blue flames, and his body activates with powers. Blue light envelopes everything, and Nero's eyes turn completely blue. The monster thinks, "Blue fire?" He's unconscious, but where did he get such strength? He was completely different earlier. Nero slowly approaches, surrounding the monster with blue flames. The monster is stunned and suddenly freezes. Nero collapses, unconscious. Luna rushes to his side. When Nero awakens, he finds bandages on his body and realizes he's in an unfamiliar place. Exploring the house, Nero thinks, "This seems like someone's home, but it's not normal. Every window is unusually strong, and the door is larger than usual. Security seems to be a top priority. I'll explore this house carefully, hopefully, it's not wrong." Nero opens the gate and is shocked at what he sees. Nero enters a room filled with weapons, looking ominous. He hears music, becomes alert, and cautiously approaches the sound with an axe. As he attacks, he sees Luna, freezes, and they both scream. Nero stares at a painting, lost in thought. Luna approaches, saying, "I thought you were sleeping." Nero wonders, "Who is she?" Luna continues, "I thought you'd died. Your survival is surprising." Nero reveals, "I don't remember anything." Luna responds, "That's good. Those memories weren't pleasant." Luna says, "This is good news. Those memories weren't pleasant anyway." Nero thanks Luna for saving his life, speaking shyly. Luna smiles, "You're flattering your savior. I accept your thanks." Nero asks, "What about my friend?" Luna reassures, "I expected you'd ask. Your friend is safe and receiving treatment. Don't worry." Nero sat beside Luna, saying, "This is great news. Knowing this gives me new life." Luna thought, "Is he crying?" and suggested, "Let's eat first. After all, it's not my fault I haven't eaten since yesterday." Nero got up to leave, prompting Luna to ask, "Where are you going?" "I'm going home," Nero replied. "I can't stay with someone I don't know." Luna asserted, "You can't leave." Nero warned, "If I stay, you'll be in danger too." Luna countered, "Your physical condition is poor. If you want to leave, you'll have to knock me out first." Nero attempted to punch Luna, but she dodged, grabbed his hand, and pinned him to the ground. "Did you think you could defeat me in your condition?" Luna asked. Nero responded, "I had only one family, my grandmother, but she's gone now. After she left, I gained this strange strength that I don't understand. Because of me, monsters attacked my school, injuring many students." Luna replied, "I'm your guardian, here to protect you." Nero acknowledged, "My guardian." Luna continued, "I know it's hard to believe, but you must stay strong for now. That's your top priority. You're my first guest, and I've taken the time to cook for you." Nero noticed, "Is something burning?" Luna rushed to the kitchen, where her stew had burnt completely. "Would you still like to eat this?" Luna asked. Nero declined. Luna teasingly said, "Fine, starve then. I cooked especially for you. When you fainted, I brought you here, thinking you'd enjoy my cooking, but during our argument, my stew burned. Whose fault is that?" Nero asked, "Do you have any ingredients left?" Surprisingly, Nero skillfully cooked a delicious meal in no time. Luna asked, "How do you know cooking?" Nero replied, "My grandmother taught me." Luna inquired, "Were you close to your grandmother?" Nero nodded. Luna asked, "What was your grandmother like?" A news report appeared on screen. Breaking news: monsters attack high school. Some believe the incident was staged, while others think it's an alien invasion. Children watching the video gasped as it suddenly disappeared. A secret meeting convened, where a man reported, "We deleted the video immediately, but eyewitnesses have already seen it. We must contain this story." Another man added, "We've identified a child with apparent powers in multiple videos." "Who is this child?" someone asked. "He's a student from the affected school, currently under protection at a secure location," came the reply. The meeting head instructed, "I need to meet this child immediately." Nero shares with Luna, "My grandmother was kind, but when she scolded me, she seemed terrifying. Despite my complaints, she never blamed me for my mistakes." Luna interrupts, "You're safe here." Nero responds, "I'm relieved. But I have important work to do. Luna asks, aren't you curious about their identities? Nero asks, shocked, Luna, did you know about the dream monsters too? Luna says, follow me, and leads him out, where a bodyguard awaits. Luna instructs the bodyguard, I'll take him to where all his questions will be answered, and he'll learn how much strength he needs to fight those monsters. Nero looks stunned. Luna takes Nero to a large building and explains, this is TGDCAM, the Great Defense Command Against Monsters, a hidden organization protecting power users like us and teaching us to fight monsters. As they enter, Nero asks, did you know about my powers? Surprised by the building's grandeur, Nero wonders, is this really a hidden organization? Luna responds, must an organization be hidden? Nero observes, this building seems ordinary. Luna teases, if you walk so slowly, I'll leave you behind. Nero asks, do you call those creatures monsters? Luna responds, yes, we've fought them for years, and monsters is the best name we have. As they approach the elevator, a girl exits, wearing the same uniform as Nero. He thinks, this is my school's uniform. The three enter the elevator, and Luna presses the up button. Nero asks, surprised, aren't we going down? Luna laughs. The girl gazes intensely at Nero, leaving him stunned. The elevator stops at the 15th floor, revealing a lab with chemicals and people training. Luna says, Aaron, it's been a while, why don't you introduce yourselves? They enter a room filled with cameras, and their head observes them. Aaron pulls out a weapon from her guitar case, loading it and aiming at Nero. Luna intervenes, shocked, Aaron, what are you doing? Aaron responds, you know the rule, never lower your guard around weapons. Nero thinks, this is serious. Luna exclaims to their head, sir, what's going on? This wasn't the plan. Aaron retorts, this is your mistake, don't blame me, and fires the weapon at Nero. As the girl fires at Nero, he dodges the attack with incredible speed, leaving everyone in awe. Wow, his speed is incredible, they exclaim. The girl continues firing, but Nero effortlessly dodges each bullet and approaches her. He kicks the gun out of her hand, causing her to fall. Nero takes advantage of the opening and escapes, leaving the girl behind. Suddenly, two blades emerge from the smoke, but Nero dodges them with ease. Aaron had launched the attack using her weapon. Nero thinks to himself, should I engage her? No, if I attack, my powers will surge, and the girl might get hurt. Instead, Nero continues dodging Aaron's relentless attacks. The onlookers wonder, his defense is impressive, but why isn't he counterattacking? Aaron presses on, her blades narrowly missing Nero. Just as she's about to land a hit, the blades fall, and Nero collapses. Perplexed, he thinks, what just happened? It turns out Luna intervened, stopping Aaron's attack. Luna reprimands Aaron, I told you, that's enough, do you think I'm here to watch? Aaron departs, leaving Nero and Luna to report to headquarters. Their boss asks Nero, you didn't attack, are you hiding your strength? Nero remains silent. Luna angrily interrupts, boss, this has gone too far, it wasn't part of the plan. The old man responds calmly, I was just assessing Nero's skills to gauge his power. Nero explains, I only reacted to her attack, I didn't want to hurt Aaron. The old man warns, you're underestimating Aaron, monsters will also target you, as they hunt individuals with powers. Nero acknowledges, I know. The old man continues, monsters seek to invade our dimension, eliminating powerful users like you, who pose obstacles to their plans. Luna tries to intervene, but the old man stops her. To defeat these monsters, you'll require training and advanced weaponry, which we can provide. But first, prove yourself, he says. A message appears on the TV, and the old man exits, concluding the meeting. Nero asks, do we have to obey those monsters? The old man replies firmly, we've been fighting them for years, we must unite to eliminate them. The scene fades to black. As Nero and Luna walk away, Nero notices Luna's somber expression since the fight. Nero spots Aaron standing outside the elevator and learns she's a 19-year-old agent. Luna reveals she's also an agent, brought to the company as a child due to her early power development. Nero compares Aaron to Luna, but Luna warns, don't underestimate Aaron. She may look cute, but she's a devil behind that face. Nero recalls finding empty weapon racks in a room in Luna's anger. Luna reminds Nero of Aaron's attack and Nero's doubts. Doctors rush a mysterious patient, and Nero thinks, "Who is this? I've seen them before." The scene cuts off. In another dimension, General Commander Shin trains intensely, showcasing exceptional sword skills that can cut through mountains with a single strike. The king appears, concerned about monsters invading their realm. Shin reassures the king, "We'll protect our realm." The scene ends. King's General Commander Shin reports to the king, "No monsters have returned." Shin reassures the king, "We have sufficient soldiers, our time will come." The king responds urgently, "We don't have time, the entrance will open someday." The scene shifts to the medicine market, where Grandpa prepares medicine. Nero arrives, sharing that he's relocated his home. Grandpa understands Nero's concern about controlling his powers. Nero seeks guidance on strengthening his powers without revealing his dark self. Grandpa advises Nero to focus on his inner energy and chakras through intense practice. Nero agrees to follow Grandpa's instructions. The scene cuts to a school, where students discuss the gym's reconstruction. A student mentions the devastating accident and the government's secrecy. Students discuss the government's alleged cover-up of a devastating accident. Nero prepares to go out, and Luna asks, "Where are you headed?" Nero reassures Luna, "I'm fine, just need some fresh air." Luna expresses concern about Nero's frequent nighttime outings. The scene shifts to Nero meeting Grandpa at a warehouse. Grandpa reveals a secret training area within the warehouse, impressing Nero. Grandpa activates a wall with his powers and says, "Let's test your strength." They engage in an intense staff fight. Grandpa assesses Nero's skills. Nero defends against Grandpa's attacks, showcasing his significant growth. Nero easily dodges Grandpa's attacks, and the staff stretches and transforms into a spear. Grandpa continues attacking, telling Nero to stop dodging and counterattack. Nero refuses, dodging effortlessly. Grandpa thinks, "He won't attack until I anger him." Grandpa intensifies his attacks, cornering Nero. He provokes Nero, mentioning Sinai's sacrifice. Nero's inner power awakens, and he grabs Grandpa's staff. Nero declares, "I must become strong to avenge my grandmother's death." Grandpa recognizes Nero's cold breath and markings. He wonders if Nero is the child Sinai brought. The scene cuts off. Narration resumes, describing the human world and monster realm. There's a gap between the demon world and human world. Humans discovered this gap and entered the demon world, but their mortal bodies couldn't withstand its forces. Many died, and their plan failed. Then, Demon King Khan arrived, saved a surviving lady, and fell in love with her. They had a child, a new creature, half human, half demon. The scene shifts to the present, where Grandpa is shocked. He realizes Nero is King Khan's son and Sinai's child. Grandpa controls Nero's explosive power. Nero's body releases blue rays as Grandpa focuses his energy. Nero screams in agony. Grandpa says, "I've controlled your powers for now, but it's up to you to seal or harness them." Grandpa advises, "Control your body's power. It's immense." Nero must overcome and harness his power. In the training cave, Grandpa explains that overcoming power requires special training, enduring pain. A challenging entity will appear, attacking Nero, but it's not real. Nero must fight it. As Grandpa opens the bottle, smoke emerges, making Nero struggle to breathe. Nero focuses on his power, sensing an attacker. A blue punch hits Nero, feeling like his body will explode. Nero gets up, seeing a massive blue aura, his body's embodiment. Thinking, "How do I fight this? I need to increase my speed." Nero charges forward, but the aura quickly follows. Nero thinks, "Is there another one? This one's too fast, I couldn't even see it." Nero gets knocked out, then wakes up determined. "I'm not the same helpless Nero, I'll fight, no matter the power." Nero's body powers up, and he fights the blue aura. Grandpa worries, his power's too much, he'll harm himself. The door activates. Grandpa realizes, "I must stop him." Nero loses, but the blue aura revives him. Nero wakes, and Grandpa says, "You're awake, your power went out of control." Nero vows, "I won't give up, I'll control this power." Grandpa admits, "It's my fault." The scene shifts to another dimension, where the king has a visitor. A man reports to the king, "Our demon area in the north is shrinking, and food is scarce." They ask when the portal will open, and they can enter the human world. The king, annoyed, calls for Shan. The man warns, "I don't believe Shan's words." The king thinks, "I must stop our world's darkest star, otherwise, my position is at risk." The man finds Shan, who ignores him initially. Shan says, "I know everything, my ears are everywhere, you don't trust me." The man fears, and Shan reveals his dark past, warning, "Don't mess with me, or you'll face my sword." Shan leaves, and the scene shifts to Nero and Luna washing dishes. Luna asks Nero, "Where do you go every night?" Nero replies, "Just for fresh air." Luna, annoyed, says, "Don't hide things from me." Nero asks, "What relationship?" Luna looks shocked. The scene cuts to Nero and Grandpa practicing in the cave. Nero fights the blue aura again, impressing Grandpa. Grandpa thinks, he's the king's son, who ruled the world. Nero discovers his powers: speed, strength, fire, ice, and dying flame. Nero enters full power mode, ready to fight. Nero realizes he must gain full control. He thinks ahead, recognizing this as the strongest momentum. "I need to defeat him first." Nero quickly punches Momentum, but it has no effect. Momentum touches Nero's face and says, "I've found you," before knocking him away. Nero thinks, there must be a way to defeat him. "I need to find it quickly. If I let my guard down for a second, I'm done." Just then, the statue attacks Nero, making him realize they're all working together to kill him. This attack seems like a test, but something feels off. Grandpa watches from above, thinking, Momentum has completely changed and is dominating the fight. Momentum attacks Nero, who uses the earth to defend himself and counterattacks. Momentum blocks Nero's attack, but Nero lands a decisive blow, breaking Momentum's crown. His powers begin to return. Finally, Nero's powers are fully restored. "Now I understand Grandpa's words." Nero punches the ground, declaring, "This is my true power." The embodied men shatter, and their power merges with Nero. Grandpa is shocked. The scene shifts to the next day at headquarters, where training begins. Their objective is to reach the 10th floor. Their goals are: 1. Find the shortest route. 2. Avoid murder and property damage. 3. Complete within an hour. Luna focuses on beating Aaron. As the race starts, Luna makes a long jump, quickly reaching the top of the building. "I'll win," Luna tells Aaron. Aaron jumps ahead of Luna. As the girl struggles to advance, another girl pulls out a gun. An announcement interrupts, stating that agents cannot use weapons during training. The girl, upset, sits on the ground and cries. Meanwhile, Luna urges Aaron to move forward, suggesting they use the building for support. Aaron responds, "How embarrassing that you need support." Their game is being monitored by a leader, GUK, who comments, "These girls are talented and motivated to eliminate each other." GUK inquires about a child brought in earlier. Dr. Sol, a researcher, leads him to see something. Training alone won't suffice, GUK says. "We need a larger budget for advanced weapons. Monster threats require high-power solutions, but we must prioritize close-quarters training to avoid harming civilians." GUK notices Nero's friend and asks if it's the child from the school gym. Dr. Sol explains that the child, initially declared dead, showed life activity during cleanup and was brought here for treatment. The leader is shocked, asking if the child is now fully alive and if they've regained consciousness. Dr. Sol replies that waking him might work. GUK suggests careful care, hoping the child might bring good news in the future. Nero's friend's fingers move, indicating signs of life. The scene shifts to Nero sneaking out at night for training. Grandpa observes, thinking, "Last night, I saw exceptional powers in this child, and they've controlled them. Should I test him?" Grandpa throws spinners like Nero, which chase him. Nero dodges the attacks. Grandpa thinks, his eyes have changed. He anticipates movements and dodges them. His strength has increased. Nero's combat attitude has changed. He's no longer dodging attacks hastily. Instead, he's targeting each enemy strike precisely. Grandpa sends more spinners, similar to Nero's. Nero picks one up, spins it rapidly, and launches it at the others. His spinner knocks down each spinner one by one. After defeating all spinners, Nero thinks the battle is over, but he soon senses something approaching and feels frightened. To his surprise, it's Grandpa, who has activated his true powers and is ready to fight Nero. Grandpa says, "Now, try to knock me out." We discover that Grandpa is Masan, a demon from the demon world who escaped to the human world. He helps demons adapt to human life. Grandpa instructs Nero to attack him. Nero thinks, strong monsters can grow in size, but what kind of power does Grandpa possess? I must uncover his powers. With determination, Nero unleashes his full strength against Grandpa. Nero flies backward, crashing to the ground with a mix of frustration and determination etched on his face. He quickly recovers, attacking Grandpa with renewed ferocity. Grandpa, unfazed, retaliates with a massive slap, sending Nero crashing down again. "Now you understand I'm invincible with my powers activated," Grandpa declares, his voice dripping with confidence. Nero, seething with anger and pain, clutches Grandpa's hands, but Grandpa breaks free, choking Nero with an air of superiority. With a surge of adrenaline, Nero summons his full power, pushing Grandpa back. Grandpa's eyes narrow, his shirt tearing as he vows, "This time, I won't spare you." The two engage in a fierce battle, exchanging blows. Grandpa is impressed, thinking, "He's dodging all my attacks and countering in no time. This child is a force to be reckoned with." As they land distant from each other, Grandpa realizes his strength has increased significantly. He's much stronger now. A hint of surprise and respect creeps into his voice. With a final, mighty punch, Nero knocks Grandpa down, revealing his true form. The ground bears the imprint of Nero's fist, a testament to his growing power. Grandpa's shock is palpable as he thinks, even in combat, this child retained his divine side. He's ready now. A mix of awe and trepidation crosses his face. Scene shifts to next morning. Luna wakes up to a pleasant aroma, her expression softening into a gentle smile as she rises from bed. Luna arrives to find Nero has prepared breakfast. He invites her to eat, and she asks, "Is something special today? You made breakfast?" Nero replies, "I'll make breakfast for you from now on. I was exhausted for the past few days and couldn't cook." Luna concerns, "If you keep going out for walks at night, you'll get tired. You can do what you want, but consider those who worry about you." Nero asks, "Were you worried about me?" Luna blushes, "Not that I'm worried about you, but you going alone is dangerous. I'm concerned because your actions might affect me too." Nero apologizes, "Since my grandma passed away, no one has worried about me. Your concern feels nice." As Nero finishes speaking, roses bloom around Luna, and she asks him to stop talking and leave. Nero and Luna are seen walking together, with Luna saying, "You must come with me, I have some reports to file." Nero wonders, "Did Luna notice the mark on my face when I fought the monster in the gym?" He asks Luna, "How do the leader and members identify who's a superhuman and who's a monster?" Luna replies, "Some monsters resemble humans and use their abilities. When they do, a mark appears on their face." Nero's thoughts reveal concern and curiosity. Luna's response is matter of fact, with a hint of expertise. Nero thinks, "Did Luna not see my mark?" After she explains that monsters have a mark and changed appearance when using abilities. Recalling the leader's warning, "Monsters will come after you, Nero, since you're a superhuman." Nero remembers Grandpa's words. They won't stop until they find what they're seeking. With Sana deceased, Nero realizes, now, they'll all come after me. Nero ponders, what could those demons possibly want from me? What do I have that they need? Suddenly, something clicks. Nero turns to Luna. "Before we proceed, I need to ask you something." Nero says, "Before we head to headquarters, I need to go somewhere. It's urgent." Scene shifts. A young boy, seemingly a bully, orders another child, "Get me cigarettes. If you don't bring them by lunch, you're dead." The child silently walks away, reading English vocabulary. The bully intentionally uses foolish words, leaving his companions stunned. The bully's cohorts arrive, and he boasts, "Should I tell everyone I'm rank number 1? Our target, Ming, is right ahead." Ming, the boy, stops and responds, "Hey, Sane, that kid. At that time, I saw everything with my own eyes. You were kneeling before Nero. If I were in your place, I wouldn't have come to school after that day. But look at you, still doing the same things." Sane yells, "Do you want to die at my hands? Don't you know who I am? The other kids glare at Sane angrily, intimidating him to back off. We see Nero, lost in thought on the bus. I don't have any good memories of school. Nero reflects. Despite lacking good school memories, I'm content. I won't revert to my past. My ordinary life is behind me. As they disembark from the bus, Luna inquires, "Are you certain you want to go to your apartment? It could be perilous, possibly even infested with monsters." Nero spots a nearby shop and asks, "Didn't you used to work here?" Luna responds, "Yes, briefly, but I quit. The only customers were school kids asking for cigarettes." Nero ponders. The leader must compensate her generously. Why would she work part-time here? Was she keeping an eye on me? Did she want to recruit me to her team? Nero unlocks his door, hesitates, and Luna asks, "What's wrong?" He replies, "Old memories resurfaced. Let's go in. I need to find something." Inside, Nero thinks, "I have no idea where to start. They're searching for something Grandpa had, and now they're after me. What kind of key were they talking about?" Meanwhile, Luna notices a photo of Nero's grandmother. Luna gazes at the photo, thinking, "Why do I feel like I know them?" She asks Nero, "Did you find what you came for? It seemed crucial." Nero replies, "Let's leave. I didn't find it." Scene shifts to Lame's hospital room, where his eyes snap open, and he suddenly sits up. A nurse calms him. "Rest, you're not fully recovered." Lame removes his oxygen mask, asking, "Where's my friend Nero?" As the nurse draws blood, the doctor says, "You're." Lame offers, "Let me provide the information you're seeking in exchange for researching my entire body." The doctor agrees, "Now that you're recovering well." Young asks, "Where am I? I want to see my friend." The doctor reassures, "Focus on recovery first. Your friend is safe." Young rejoices, knowing his friend is safe. We see Young walking in the lab, observing various things. Young retrieves his blood sample when C approaches him, asking, "What are you doing here? What are you secretly searching for?" Mesmerized by his looks, C offers, "If the doctors catch you, there'll be trouble. I'll stay with you so you won't be bored." I'm C. No need for introductions. I think we already know each other. Young holds the blood sample when a nurse arrives, saying, "You can't be here," and grabs his hand. As the nurse grabs Young's hand, a test tube containing blood falls from his grasp. She scolds C and chases her away. After C leaves, Young asks, "Why am I in the biolab?" The nurse leads him out, warning, "Let's leave for now, we might face trouble." Upon entering, Young suddenly pulls the nurse close. Muffled screams follow. Young emerges, wearing the nurse's coat, with blood on the door. Seeing the blood, Young smiles eerily and departs. Meanwhile, at headquarters, breaking news spreads rapidly. News spreads that Aaron was defeated by an ordinary human. "Are you talking about the test that was interrupted?" Someone asks, "Is this because of Aaron?" "I think it's just a rumor." A team member approaches Aaron, asking, "Is it true what I heard? Did you struggle with a recently awakened ordinary human?" Aaron remains silent. The member wonders, "Did she ignore me?" Just then, Nero arrives, prompting the member to exclaim, "The devil's name was mentioned, and he's here. I want to see what's special about him." Nero's presence commands attention. C asks, "Who is he?" He looks handsome. Others stare, whispering, "This is the one from the rumors." The leader asks Nero, "Are you here for the exam?" Nero replies, "I'll take it if you cooperate with me." The leader is perplexed. Nero explains, "I don't plan to stay here forever, but we share a common enemy. We should work together. Do you think this world is as peaceful as it seems? You know how hard we work to maintain this peace." Nero thinks, "When did he sneak up on me?" Nero asserts, "There's no peace in my world." He continues, "Today, your definition of peace is, Senior, I'll teach you a lesson. First, I'll fix your weird face." He asks the leader, "May I teach him a lesson?" The leader replies, "Of course, I want to see your fight." Meanwhile, a doctor enters the room, shocked by the blood and the nurse's dead body. She screams. Hans Young asks Nero, "Are you an expert who doesn't need any weapon?" "I'm powerful. You might need one." Nero responds, "Worry about yourself. My hand will be enough for you." Hans Young grows angry, noticing Nero being admired. "Looks like you already have a fan club," he says. He thinks, This guy's attitude is just like Aaron's. If I defeat him, I'll become the new ES. Han smirks. He recalls how Aaron always defeated him in the past, leaving him unproven. With Aaron now out of the way, this is his last chance. Determined, Han swiftly approaches Nero and whispers in his ear, "What do you think of me now? I'm nothing like you." Han's Yong boasts, "I'm the fastest here. No one can match my speed. You can't even see me. How will you catch me?" He rapidly circles, attempting to strike Nero, but Nero effortlessly dodges and counters with a punch, sending Hans crashing to the ground. Leader and Doctor are stunned. Doctor asks, "Did he attack with his eyes closed?" Leader explains, "Human eyes have limits. No matter how strong you are, your visual capacity can't keep up with Han's speed." Nero stands calmly, eyes still closed, leaving everyone bewildered. It seems he was born with this special sense, replacing his vision entirely, the leader observes. Nero is relieved that the blue markings didn't appear on his face this time and that he controlled his powers successfully. Aaron thinks, "He's changed so much since our last encounter." The scene shifts to Young, who witnessed the fight. A staff member approaches him. "Are you new to the medical team? I've never seen you before. What's with the blood on your coat and the life name tag?" Young's expression transforms dramatically. The scene shifts to Sean, who gazes at a small dragon. Its wings suddenly spread, and a strange creature emerges from within, leaving Sean stunned and horrified. He says, "Controlling someone's body and mind is an incredibly terrifying ability. This is the real horror. Everyone must be waiting for darkness to spread across the world." We see Yong, who had eliminated the staff, surrounded by an eerie aura, as if his body was possessed.